So what if, instead of doing a flower head, I did a Dutch pour instead? Ha! I actually made it rhyme. That's a good one. Because I'm excited to do something different than the flower head. Yep, flower head. I guess it'd be like this. Something here above her head. I was wondering if I should start exploring how to do a different style acrylic pouring thing to make the head of the chick. If you're curious, you're in the right place. My name is Tiffany Remijn. Welcome to my channel. Meet me down on the canvas and let's blow out our head with a blow dryer. Guess I don't know what else to call it, because it's probably not going to be a traditional Dutch pour, I can tell you that, because I'm a little rusty and I haven't done one in a really long time.
Now, if you made it this far, you must be like questioning what the heck it is that I'm doing. I'm after a certain look, I'll be perfectly honest with you. And I know most of you are used to the Rinskadana method. You know, you pour the puddle or the line and then you blow over the base coat. But just hang with me for a moment and let's see where I take this, because then it'll slowly begin to make a little bit of sense. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Just wanna bring me down.
is dry. And the first thing I always do before I begin to figure out what I'm going to do with it is I actually, let me see if I can lift this up, is I actually finish my sides. Yeah, it's important to me. It's really important to me that I have a sort of, I don't know, finished piece before I begin to do anything. I don't know, it gives me some feeling of, I don't know, now I'm ready. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but that's kind of what I do. And then sometimes I hang it up on the wall and I'll stare at it for a few days just to kind of get a feel for, you know, what's the composition look like, as I'm going to eventually try to fit in a face. But I also want to look at the bouquet itself. So a lot of people will think, oh, Tiffany, I think that's beautiful. I don't know why you're going to touch it. But that was never the intent of this piece of art in the first place. And yeah, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to put in contacts because there's going to be ring light glare in my eyes and put on makeup. Let's be honest, you're here for the art. You're not really here to, this is not a makeup tutorial. So now I look at the piece and I'm like, okay, so if I'm going to do a bouquet, what do I got going on and how can I rework this in a way that's going to compositionally make sense? Now, one thing I have to note is when you saw me pour this out, I really struggled to get this kind of the way that I had envisioned it in my mind, and I had overworked down here. So you'll see I got a little bit of rippling down here. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes, especially like on a Dutch style pour, is every once in a while, if it's already starting to dry underneath and then you blow out something over top, it'll catch and make a ridge. It's life. You know what? I don't really care all that much because I'm going to put a face here anyway. Most likely that's the plan, if I can make that happen. So back to the task at hand. So what I'm going to do is I look at it and I go, okay, what do I got going on and where can I make like the focal point? Obviously this is a focal point for a bloom, but I don't know, like make some abstracty thing here and then we'll kind of go from there. But I think that I need to start with this because this is what's going to dictate what this looks like. And then eventually I've got some ideas and concepts for the face, but until I get the head, I won't get a feel for what the look that I'm going for on the face. So yeah, that's pretty much my story. So I'm going to play a little bit. You're going to probably see me erase a lot of stuff because I don't know what's going to work. I've got these cool markers, paint markers that I have. They're just a local brand here. I don't know. It's called Paint Marker. Whatever. They're like a no-name brand. I don't really care. It's a paint marker. I mean, the thing's going to get varnished anyway. So I'm going to grab a wet paper towel because most likely I'm going to draw a couple petals. I'm going to hate them and I'm going to erase them. All right, well, here she is. I think she looks kind of geisha-ish. Is that a thing? Like memoirs of a geisha? I don't know, she has that kind of look about her. It's the very first time, obviously, that I've done the Dutch pour as a head and not used the little Austin Blossoms or the skins of an Austin Blossom. I drew in an abstract-y sort of ish, another ish flower. I'm not so sure that I love them. I mean, it's my very first attempt, so go easy on me. I love these little moon rock things. So this is Pirate's Booty is what it's called. So I applied them just with blue this time, but I did go over the top of them with like the Amsterdam gel medium. I just wanted to make sure that they were on there pretty solid. So they, you know, when I go to varnish, or I'm probably not gonna resin this thing. I mean, my God, she's 50 by 100, that's centimeters. Her head, I think, is like the size of mine. If I was to guess, what do you think? Similar? Yeah, so tell me what you think down in the comments below. Do you like the blown head as opposed to the other ones are blown too, really, but as opposed to the little blossoms, as far as a little bit more larger than life? I wasn't sure that the head just went on forever, but I kind of think she's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a bit of a close-up. First time I've done an eye, sort of. As far as I was going to venture into the eye, it was going to be like the eyelash, the closed eye. I wasn't quite ready to do the the iris and the pupil. That just is a little overwhelming to me just yet. We're not there. We're getting there though, slowly but surely. But I do like the closed eye. I think it gives her like a demure kind of look about her. A little geisha-ish, I guess. So let's go in for a real quick close-up like I always do. All right, so here she is. Oh, and if I didn't mention, the moon rocks are available with my discount code through ColourArte. Yeah, it's a product that they have. These are, there we go. Oh, there it is. Pirate's Booty, Natural Mica Minerals by ColourArte.com. So you can use my code and you can get 20% off. Yeah, all of that's in the description box below. All the colors in here, a lot of them are primary elements in Prizm pour. Yeah, you know, I never understood the hype. Hold on, let's just hold this still for a sec. Let's just turn around. I never really understood the hype of pigments until I started to use them. Now I get it, because let me show you the shimmer. So if you're like on the fence about using pigments like I was for a very, very long time until Leslie Onset reached out to me, I want to show you a little bit up close as to kind of the difference it would make in a Dutch pour. And I guess that's kind of why I wanted to do a Dutch pour as well, just because when I've done Dutch pours previously, I didn't use pigments. It was all tube paints. So I was kind of curious, like, you know, mind you, this isn't a traditional Dutch pour. It's just the blown out style. How about that? So yeah, there's the shimmer that she gets in the sparkle on top of her dress. How cool is that? The lip, same thing when the light hits it. And then you can see the shimmer up through, oh, look at that. You can see the shimmer up through her head using the primary elements pigment. But let's gonna back up a bit. Oh, here's the moon rocky things. Wow, they really are blingy. There you go. So I didn't want to overuse them. I just, you know, first time, you know, I was a first timer. I just breaking her in easy. There's no varnish on here. No, this is just sheer shimmer. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. But she dried really, really well. Yeah, pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with that. Especially with all the shimmer in there. Like it just hits you. I love that. All right, so let's back up a little bit and put the phone away. I'm curious to know what you think down in the comments below. Feel free to tell me, do you prefer the Austin Blossom? Do you like the Dutch pour? I think I might even experiment. I'll do a few more of these while I get the hang of it and try to perfect it a little bit better. And then who knows what fluid art technique I'll move on to next as far as, you know, making one of these. Let's keep going and let's keep exploring. Anyway, see you in the next video.